I only seen one video about this topic of how our brain is actively rotting every single day. We are destroying it, and once you destroy it for long enough, there is no going back. And you probably feel it like inside of you that it's so hard to focus on things, and it gets harder and harder. Doesn't matter if you're in school or in work, it just keeps getting harder to focus on simple tasks. And that's because your brain is rotting. And I want to give you a couple of things and just bring this to your attention that this is happening and that you should start thinking about it consciously and stop this from happening, because I have managed to hold myself accountable and start doing something against my brain rot, and it's so clearly visible for me that my life has been getting so much better thanks to this, and I want the same for you because you deserve it. Because many people just go down this path where they keep abusing their brain, their cells, everything inside of them until they just cannot properly even form a thought. And that's like so sad in my opinion. So the reason why our brains are getting so bad and rotting basically actively is that dopamine is so easily accessible to us. This has never been the case for eternity of people who have ever existed. So just imagine even the kings that existed hundreds of years ago. They didn't have anything like we have today. Even a peasant has a mobile phone which has naked women. People have it right at their hands. You have everything. You have social media. You can just, if you're bored and you should do the work that you are supposed to do, you can just take out your phone and scroll on social media mindlessly with your mouth open, mouth breathing, tired, and you can just do these things. This has never happened before. So that's why you cannot even focus, because your brain is confused. We are not prepared for this. You just have these things at your disposal and you have to learn how to use them. But obviously no one has ever thought that, how to actually use those things. Obviously we don't know how to do that. And most of the people are not even aware that it's destroying their brain and health. And people are wondering why my mental health is so shit. Well, it's because your brain is destroyed, and maybe not just destroyed, but it's getting destroyed. And the worse your brain works, the worse you can think logically. And if you cannot think logically, your emotions will take over and you will feel worse and worse and worse. So the whole issue is that brain is supposed to be used. Like we have our brains to use them, and what we do usually is just become mindless. Like I said, we tend to do those things that basically stop our brain from working, or they make our brain work so much that it basically fries it. You just fry your cells and you cannot even properly think about stuff anymore because your brain is destroyed because of it. So the thing is, we are supposed to create thoughts, original thoughts that we own, and created them based on the things that we've learned. But the thing is, since we don't do that anymore, and you can argue with me, but we don't do that anymore because you get your mind abused in school, which they will put things inside of it, and then you pick up your phone and then you get all this weird information from all the different sources that are not reliable fed into your brain, that you cannot even form a thought. You cannot think about stuff in a critical way, because every single thing that you know and have as a fact is just from somebody on the internet most of the time. Even your political views, your religious views maybe even. You get this fed on the internet. And that is not great, because you are supposed to create your own person, your own head, make up your own mind. And that what actually makes life worth living, in my opinion. So how would you feel if you woke up today and somebody took away from you your phone, maybe your video games, or maybe your TV, all the stimuluses that you have that are consuming you every single day? How would you feel? You would probably feel like you're not you anymore. Like, if you just had to live by yourself with your own thoughts, most of the people would go crazy. And that's the issue. Like, that's not supposed to be happening. That's what I'm telling you. If you live in this virtual world where you get spoon-fed information, basically your own identity is created and it's on the internet, you lost yourself and you are losing your brain. It doesn't work anymore because you are supposed to be you. So just try it maybe one day, just turn off everything and let your thoughts run in your head. And you'll realize, maybe you know it, that your thoughts would be probably bad and your mental health would suffer from that. Learn to not be reliant on those things, because one day you may regret it. And let's say you don't want to take care of your brain, don't want to use it that much because it's hard, and you don't see the point in that, and you don't understand from what I'm saying why is it so important. Just think about it in terms of your body. If you don't care about your body and you let it sit and you just eat shit food and you are not you doing any sport, your body is gonna look a certain way, and it's not a nice way. It's gonna look terrible, you understand, right? You're gonna get fat or too skinny, you're gonna feel unhealthy, look unhealthy. So why do you think that brain is different? Why do you think that if you don't use your brain and don't use it for what it's intended to do, why do you think it's gonna be okay? Why do you think you're not gonna suffer from that? It's the same, it's a part of your body. Every part of your body needs to be trained if you want it to work properly. So just always think about this, that every time you are being mindless and consuming things and not using that brain actively, you are letting it sit. You are losing your muscles, and brain is basically a muscle. So you are just losing your muscles, and it's looking worse and worse and worse again. So look, the thing is, you just really need to start living more consciously. Be in control. Do not let yourself be controlled with things. Because if you get controlled, that's when your brain is rotting. That's when you are not using and not fulfilling your potential. And that's just sad life, in my opinion. Because now that I feel that I've gained control over things, and I'm not telling you cannot do like those bad things, like scrolling sometimes on your phone, just checking out what friends are doing on the Instagram, watching YouTube videos or playing video games. You can do those things, but you need to be in control of that. Because how many times has it happened to you? You just want to go to sleep and you just keep scrolling social media, or you play one more game in the evening. It has probably happened fair enough times, right? And that's it. That's your destroyed brain, because you are not logically thinking that I'm gonna be tired the next day, I should go to bed. You just lost. And every time you do that, your brain is in a worse state. You need to gain control of those things. So maybe you will have to step back from it and just forget about it after all. Because, for example, me as well, I used to be a huge gamer, and then I was so reliant on video games, I basically stopped playing for 2 years almost, where I just didn't care about games at all. And then I went back to games, and now I play video games sometimes, maybe a couple of times a week, but now I'm in control. When my alarm goes off when I should go to bed, I turn off the computer, I go to bed, and nothing bad happened. Because I'm in control, I'm using my brain, I'm creating thoughts. This video, I wouldn't be able to do this 3 years ago, because I didn't have the thoughts that I could actually tell you and use my brain in an effective manner where I can say something and it could potentially resonate with you. That's what happens. That's how your life changes when you start actively working on it. And I will not give you any exact tactics, because you are not an idiot. You are not dumb. You know exactly, if I tell you your brain is getting destroyed, your brain is not in a good state, and every single day is deteriorating, it's getting worse. So you can use your own head and think that he's right. I haven't been treating my brain very well, and it's going downhill because of that, and I feel myself losing focus a lot, and I keep going back to the bad habits that I do because I just cannot stay on the mission that I said I would stay on. So now I tell you this, and now you can just start using your phone, your computer, all these devices more consciously. Think about what is it doing to you, and if you keep that in mind, you may make many better decisions, and that's in the end what is important. So if you sort of agree or like this type of content, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.